Hi everybody, how are you all doing? Welcome to this video. If you'd like to use OCD Recovery's coaching services, please reach out to Phil at ocdrecovery.com. And and he will get back to you as quick as he can. So yeah, today guys, I wanted to speak about latching attempts with OCD and some of the experiences I had with OCD trying to latch into different themes and fears. And just about how I sort of managed to engineer like a soft landing with these latching attempts, how I managed to ensure that I didn't snowball into the path of doing compulsions and, laying the foundations for a new theme to latch. I think it's such an important topic in OCD, because OCD is going to morph around. We might have that main theme or main core fears, and you think, oh yeah, this is the only thing I'm going to have to work on going forward. But, such is the unpredictability of OCD, you're going to have to make reservations and be prepared for OCD to morph and latch and go for other things. Excuse me. So I've had like three main latching attempts, I'd say. So obviously my main theme was HOCD, homosexual OCD. I've had bits of ROCD and magic thinking OCD and a bit of harm OCD. Obviously they all sort of managed to get in there, but I'm talking about when a brand new theme just tries to latch to something that you've not actually had yet, and when it just tries to latch. One of my first major latching attempts, I'd say, was Contamination OCD, and I remember it clear as day. I think we all remember when OCD tries to latch, because it's really scary in the moment, catches us off guard, it causes that extreme discomfort that we just want to escape. So I just want to talk you through it. So yeah, I had a contamination latching attempt, and I remember I was on holiday, and I was in this club, this really big club in Ibiza actually, which is one of my favourite places, and there was thousands of people in this club, and I was just on the dance floor, and lots of people brushing past me, germs, etc. And suddenly in the moment I had the thought, oh no, like what if someone's brushed, and I was in like a t-shirt as well, so I was thinking, what if someone brushes past me, they've got germs, they've got contaminated, then what if I give those germs to me? What if I give those germs to my friends? What if I'm at fault? What if something happens to me because I get contaminated? There's that element of fear of death. And in the moment, what it's like, 0 to 100, it feels completely real, right? And that's the nature of the disorder. And as in that moment when it does happen, I just wanted to like run to the toilet, wash myself down, try and get that just right feeling of being clean. But, by this time, because I already had ROCD and HOCD, I already knew what OCD was trying to do. You get experience with OCD, with its latching attempts, you know what it's trying to do. And because you've got that experience there, you can act accordingly in the right way and respond in an efficient way. So I knew that I couldn't leave the situation, right? I knew that I couldn't leave the dance floor, run to the toilet and start scrubbing my hands and washing my arms, because that would just set the path for contamination OCD to latch. That would just set the path for it to grab me and to take over my life. So I had to stand firm. I had to just sit with the extreme discomfort. When the OCD or your brain just blitzing away saying you need to take action now, you need to do X, Y, Z to alleviate this fear. But I couldn't. I just had to stay there. I managed to wear it for a few days whilst I was away on holiday, and then when I came home, I just did some gentle disputing with regard to the contamination OCD. I tried to live my life as best as I could, go towards contaminated things, not scrubbing my hands needlessly, even though it felt uncomfortable, even though it felt like I did want to do that. Touching things that still traditionally have, germs in them, such as, like a food menu or, like a door handle, just doing all the things that I was doing before this latching attempt. And whilst I was doing that, and just broke down the beliefs gently over the following days, I just managed to, engineer that soft landing and stop OCD from fully latching. And you really just have to grit your teeth and be really resilient in those moments, because sometimes that discomfort when the latching attempt comes is going to be really, really high, right? But you just have to be prepared for that. You just have to stand firm and try your best not to snowball into those try your best not to snowball into those compulsions, right? And yeah, the point of that is in the moment when it does try and latch, you don't really want to be doing anything. You don't want to be trying to change the situation or, you know, taking action. It's there's no doing. It's just complete allowing while sitting with the discomfort, and then slowly looking at your fears, and, you know, just refraining from doing the compulsions while it's still early on, right? Another example as well is I had POCD try and latch. There's a school like near my house, which is literally just like a minute walk down the road, so you can imagine like the trigger I got there. Same again, really scary and real in the moment, because it's so taboo as well, especially with POCD. I feel like it might be jacked up that little bit more. You know, 0 to 100, you really wanted to, you know, I really wanted to start doing all those compulsive and avoidance behaviours. You know, I wanted to like avoid, you know, walking near the school and just avoiding like all the children there. And, you know, in that moment when it does try and latch, that rumination is going to be fired up. You know, I remember when it tried to latch, and I was thinking about it all day, and for the following like few days as well. But like I said before, like I had an idea of what this was trying to do. I've got experience of, you know, OCD trying to latch, so I had to stand firm. I felt extremely uncomfortable for the next few days. I knew I couldn't rush to do anything, or rush to change it, or rush back into my house and try and get my notepad and paper out and try and dispute it in the moment, like frenetically, to try and sort of get rid of this trigger. I'm trying to stop this thing from latching. No, I had to stand firm for a few days. And then, like, you know, slowly disputed on and off for a little while. And it wasn't actually probably for another couple of weeks where I managed to get that baseline back again, you know, and really stopping the latching attempt from happening. Obviously, yeah, like I said before, POCD, there's lots of other elements in there as well. So like the bad person element, that really tried to latch on as well. And, you know, I did have to do a bit of reading just about Albert Ellis and the myth of self-esteem and breaking down being a bad person. So as well as doing the beliefs, I actually did a bit of reading alongside that, you know, not compulsively, maybe for like 10-15 pages day on day off over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, the point is, you don't rush to, like, you know, read the book or just get your pen and paper out to try and be rid. And yeah, there was another latching attempt which I had, which I've got written down on my pad here in front of me. Yes, it was fear of death as well. So I remember I was at my my desk at work, and I was just sort of going about my day, just on my computer, and I always had like solipsism and existential fear of death sort of chipping away in the background. You know, I was also quite obsessed with like my heartbeat, you know, my existence. I'd sometimes I'd go through phases of like checking my heartbeat, checking it was beating fine, because a few years ago I had a little issue with my heart, just in terms of how it beat, and that sort of played away at the back of my mind. Oh yeah, you know, like, what if I have a heart attack? What if XYZ happens? And then I was just sat at my desk, and all of these like sort of death fears and solipsism, existential fears, just culminated in this massive latching attempt, where in the moment it's almost like I was suddenly engulfed by like the fear and uncertainty of death and existence, and just feeling completely disconnected. And I remember I felt really panicked. I didn't have a panic attack, but I was close to having one. And I felt really unsettled. I just wanted to go home. I just wanted to run to the hospital just to double check that my health and my heartbeat was fine. I was so compelled to like just call 999 in that moment, because of how real it felt. You know, OCD and our brains can just make it feel so real in the moment that action is urgently needed right now, or it's doom. And I didn't do that. I was so close to doing it, but I just had to ride it out, had to stand firm. I remember I even went to another office, sorry, not another office, another part of the office in another room, and I literally just rode it out for as best as I could. You know, I felt so compelled to try and do something about it, but I couldn't. And yeah, like with the other latching attempts, I just had to stand firm, wear the discomfort. I did wear it for the next few days. And then I looked more rationally at death. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius was really helpful for me there, just looking at death rationally. I know I did a video on this recently, but you know how the fact that death is like a natural part of the life cycle, you know, it's the absence of pain and suffering. Yeah, so I read that for, you know, 10-15 pages on and off for the next, I don't know, week or two after that. So yeah, I managed to engineer like another sort of soft landing with that. So fear of death didn't really latch. Sometimes it will really just try and bite and really try and get you and set in. But, you know, when you have the tools and the experience, you know what you need to do. And yeah, the point is, when these latching attempts do inevitably come, you don't want to be trying to change it so badly or doing something so urgently in the moment. You just need to do the best you can to allow it. I know in the moment it can feel very scary and you're very compelled to do something because of how, you know, scary and taboo it might be. But like I said before, you just have to stand firm. You know, sometimes you're going to have to sit with extreme discomfort, you know, 10 out of 10 discomfort, which is part of the recovery journey. And then when you do that and, you know, you look at or slowly dispute your irrational beliefs and fears alongside that, maybe whilst reading the book, you know, you can really make sure that you don't let another theme become part of your life. You can really make sure that you don't give it the fuel for it to latch. So yeah, I think there's some key points in there, guys, about OCD and its latching attempts. It is going to happen. You need to be prepared for that. But yeah, hopefully you've got the tools to be able to stop it from latching. And yeah, I guess as well, trying to stop it so rigidly, that's probably where it gets us into trouble. You know, if it latches, it latches. But but coming from that standpoint, it's just, yeah, allowing it to do whatever it wants to do in the moment, and just, you know, standing firm and riding that out and trying not to resist the latching attempt. All right. So yeah, that's all for me, guys, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.